So you want to master Marvel's Bruce Lee and become the ultimate Iron Fist? Don't look any further. I have the ultimate guide with tips and tricks to help you become a menace to healers, ranged duelists, and aerials, all by mastering the art of the Iron Fist. Alright guys, and for this guide, I'm actually going to do things a little bit different. We're going to spend a lot of time here in the practice range because there's a lot to learn when it comes to Iron Fist. And I want you guys to be super comfortable by the time you're done with this guide so you can go ahead and go into a practice range and try out some of the stuff that I'm going to teach you. Have a quick look at the overview of the abilities and the attacks, and I'll showcase them here very shortly. But he is a 4-star difficulty character, and with good reason, because there's a lot of combinations and a lot of things that you need to learn in order to use him effectively. You know, he's not a duelist that you're going to be constantly like hiding behind a tank in order to do damage. He's not hit scan. A lot of the value that he provides is that he can attack the bat line probably better than a lot of people, range attackers, and some of the vertical attacks as well. Here's his basic on its own, but you can also do Dragon's Breath, which is the right click or your second attack. And if you do this, you go into the defensive stance, the green one. But from that, you can also attack, and your basic attack changes into this, which is just a barrage of punches being thrown on opponents. Now it's an auto lock mechanic, right? So when you're looking at a character, when you're looking at an enemy, it's gonna lock into them. So if you're looking away, of course it's not gonna hit, right? But if you're looking at them, it doesn't matter what direction you're going in, it's gonna go ahead and deal some heavy damage. You have your L shift ability, so we're gonna showcase that real quick. That's his L shift ability. And again, since you're gonna be attacking the backline quite a bit, sometimes you will stray away from your team and from your healers. You won't be in the range of healers, so that's where his E ability comes in handy. And you can do this in the air, you can do this on the floor, but I'm going to showcase what you do. Now you have to leave it pressed, because if you try to move forward while you're doing this, it cancels the healing. So make sure you're in a place where you're not moving. And if you're fully healed, then you see my health bar just got all the way up to 300. It just gains extra health if that's the case. We're gonna show you the combination of how I like to use them as well. But before I do that, the last one is the ultimate ability. So I'm gonna showcase real quick what the ultimate does. And for 12 seconds, you gain that speed, damage, attack range boost with him, and you can just take out multiple targets at once. I would say if you manage to take out 2 to 4 targets with your ultimate, ideally the healers and range attackers, then it's a success in my opinion. Alright guys, so I'm going to showcase my top 5 tips and tricks when it comes to Iron Fist. Let's start with his verticality. Now, as I mentioned, you're going to focus on the back line quite a bit with him, so healers, range attackers, they're the ones that you want to focus on as much as possible when you're using Iron Fist. And of course, you know, gaining knowledge is everything. If you can go vertical with a duelist like him, and just oversee what's going on the field, like if you see your range attackers and your healers all the way back here, and then your tanks push forward way too far away from them, then it's time to take advantage with Iron Fist. And how you can gain verticality is of course wall running, but you can also have a lot of hang time with him in the air if you do a combination of his basic attack and just jumping. So he does have 4 jumps, and if you jump into his basic and just leave it on hold till the combination ends and jump again right as soon as it ends, which you can tell by the screen, right? You don't even have to touch any portion of the floor of the map. You can legit, you know, make this a challenge, play an entire game ideally without having to touch the floor, because you can just do this and then just go into a wall run all over your map, depending on, you know, the map location and how it is. But as you can see, I gain a lot of knowledge by doing this. And yes, they hear the kicks and everything that's going on in the air if you're doing this. So ideally what you want to do is get to your desired place of location, wherever it is that you want to attack from. And, you know, whether it's a choke point or something that, you know, you're calling out to your team, hey, I'm flanking the team, I see that they're separate, etc., I'm going in, then this is how you can do it. Now, ideally, this is some of the combinations that you're going to want to use against them. Just go in from a high point, use your L shift so you can get your flying kick, and you can either A, use your basic if you want to save it at that point, or you can go into this mode and just rip them right off without a lot of support, because their tanks are all the way in the front line, right? So just something to keep in mind when you're using him. Verticality is very important with Iron Fist. He's a natural counter to those aerial pesky duelists like Iron Man, Star-Lord, Scarlet Witch, Storm, you name them. He's a natural counter to them because he can auto lock into them, and as I showcased with the first tip, you can hang in the air for quite a bit. So as long as you're looking at the enemy and they're in the air and you're doing your basic, it will auto lock into them. So we're gonna wait for this bot to come out, and then here's what you do: you drop your basic onto them, and as long as you're looking at them, it'll continue to attack them in that matter. You are probably the best counter in that instance to take them out. You can also do this from multiple ways. If they come at you from a little, if you need to gain some distance and reach them a lot quicker, then you can do it with your mechanic, your flying dash, your flying kick mechanic, and get to them quicker. All right, and my tip number 2 is Dragon's Defense is your home. So be careful how you're using this. Ideally, if you're striking down the back line and it's a single target, I wouldn't use Dragon's Defense right away to take the enemy out. I would just do a strike down, L shift into a basic attack against that particular character, just in case. Now, if it's multiple characters, then what I might do is I might strike down by doing the flying kick into Dragon's Defense, then barraging into multiple targets in this manner. So ideally, just activate it, move from one to the other, and then of course that other bot fell down. But if it's just a single target, I would save it just in case somebody from range is gonna attack you. So this is the reason why I would much rather save it. If I go into a single target and I'm attacking and I'm taking him down and now I'm getting shot at, then I have a second of defense, and then I'm able to absorb whatever damage is sending my way and then try and get away from the fight as fast and quickly as possible, or go back to my teammates. All right, my tip number 3 is how you use your flying kick will definitely vary. So we're gonna go over this very quick. Now, you don't always have to go with your flying kick first into a fight. You can just drop very passively into it, especially if they have no idea where you are. And this is a sneak attack here. We're just gonna go into the basic. I'm getting attacked, then I switch over so I can take multiple targets, but now I'm in trouble. Let's say none of that worked out and I have to get out of the fight, then that's where I use this and I try to gain some high ground again and try to get back to my teammates, potentially my healers, so I can get back in the field, or just find a good area where I can heal on my own by using it. So just keep that in mind when using your flying kick. You don't always have to drop into the fight with it. You can use it, the dash, as a mechanic to escape a tough situation. All right, my 4th tip for you guys is infinite wall running. You can infinite wall run certain parts of the map, you know, especially when you're getting to a choke point. Some of them can be very much high up. So I'm gonna showcase here. If you wall run to this corner, because you can't go left or right, you can see what's happening here, etc., and call out to your teammates. Sometimes they don't see you when you're doing this. Now, they can hear you, so just be mindful of that. Definitely some of these points won't work because then they'll hear the footsteps, or sometimes they don't even know where you're at. Either way, take this as a good point of advantage because it doesn't affect your cooldowns, right? You see my jumps, I still have my 3 jumps, so if I need to escape for whatever reason, I can just do this, as I've shown you guys before, and get out of a sticky situation. But if they don't see you coming, then take that opportunity to do a sneak attack on any healers that you might see coming that way. So once again, you go to the spot where you can't move forward anymore, so it's an infinite wall run, but hey, a healer dropped down, so now I'm gonna go attack him and take him out of the equation. All right, guys, and my last tip for Iron Fist is about sustainability. Now, the biggest thing with him is, again, since you're gonna be attacking the backline quite a bit, you're gonna be far away from your healers in most instances. So being able to sustain yourself and heal yourself is gonna be very crucial for your success, so you're not dying often in the map. So you really have to get familiar with where the health packs are around the map. So wherever you spot them, wherever you see them, and if you see them in the process of the game, just try to keep in mind that, hey, I might have to go back to that health pack at one point or another. But also you have your E ability, and in most cases, just remember that when you use your E ability, it has to be in a section or a place where they can't necessarily get to you, because you have to be stagnant first. So for example, if I'm gonna attack this guy and take him out, but now I'm getting shot at and I'm running away and I lost my health, let's go somewhere where they can't see me. So now I'm up here and I can heal. So constantly keep in mind that your healers just won't have access to you in most cases. If you're able to get, you're close enough to your healers, backtrack to your healers as much as possible. But as you're gonna do your damage, and let's say you're walking away from this situation, you can dash out if you need to, but go somewhere. If I've lost a lot of the health, just hide in a corner and heal. So guys, those are my top 5 tips for Iron Fist. I hope you guys enjoyed this kind of guide. It's a little bit different than the ones that I've done in the past for Square Girl and Cloak and Dagger, and if you guys want to see those, definitely check them out. I'm gonna put them in the description of this video. But yeah, let me know what else you guys want to see. My last thoughts and summary when it comes to Iron Fist is he's quite strong at what he does. If you guys see him coming, if you're a healer, you see Iron Fist coming, you're probably in trouble. Or if you didn't see him coming, it's even worse, because he can definitely do a lot of hefty damage. He can do a lot of hefty damage to tanks as well, so don't be afraid to get mixy with him too if your team is doing a team push as well. He's just very, very versatile brawler in my opinion, one of the strongest brawlers in this game as well. It just takes a little bit of time to get used to his abilities and how you can combine them. But once you do, this guy's insane because he auto locks into range characters. He also auto locks into characters that are flying. If you found any of my tips or this guide absolutely helpful in becoming the ultimate Iron Fist, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and like this video. It really helps the algorithm gods like your boy a little bit more. And I'm uploading daily gameplay, news, and guides. I'm also going live on Twitch and YouTube pretty much Monday to Friday whenever possible with this amazing community. Let me know how you are liking Iron Fist, and if any of this helped you out, put it down in the comment section down below. Till next time, stay safe and keep on rivaling. Bro, he's one bullet.
No.
Got him.
Nice.